JBN, we keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Hi guys. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with a friend or family member today. Now on to the news. PNP expels 4 members following nomination day activities. The People's National Party PNP has expelled 4 of its members after they were nominated to run as independent candidates in the upcoming local government elections. Ufel Purcell, who was nominated in the Yorktown division in Clarendon, had been notified about the termination of his membership on Thursday evening. In a letter to Purcell on Thursday, PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell said, "For the time you spent as councillor representing the People's National Party, we thank you for your service." Following his nomination on Thursday, Purcell had quipped, "I will always be PNP. I'm running as an independent, but still a strong supporter of the People's National Party. I'm a PNP. I will continue being a PNP. That is the reason I've not gone over to the other party. But what happened to me was not fair or honest. And the Member of Parliament, Mr. Luther Cousins, and others who stood up against me should not have done that because I've done nothing wrong," said Purcell. On Friday, the PNP announced that Lydia Richards of the Bensington Division in St. Anne, Lawton Mackenzie of the Granger Division in Westmoreland, and Beverly Swaby of the Poor's Division in Manchester have also been expelled. This decision aligns with Rule 263 of the party's constitution, which explicitly states, "No person who has contested a seat in the House of Representatives or for any municipality or as a candidate in opposition to the People's National Party may continue as a member of the party," the PNP stated in a media release. The PNP said it anticipates the decisive victory of Clovis Cohagen in Bensington, Warren Littlington in Grange Hill, Peter Gay Blake Campbell in Porus, and Anthony Davis in Yorktown on February 26. Man shot dead for picking apples in St. Mary. A man was shot dead, and another narrowly escaped injuries after picking apples in Belfield Pen, St. Mary, Thursday afternoon. The dead man has been identified as Ryan Pendergrass. Both men are from Belfield Pen, the police said. Reports received are that around 2:45 p.m., the 2 men went to a property in the community and picked apples. On their way from the property, they were confronted by another man. That man, the police said, informed them he was paying the lease of the property and questioned the authority to pick the apples. He then reportedly pulled a gun from his waistband and opened gunfire in the direction of both men, hitting Pendergrass in the upper body and killing him on the spot. The other man escaped unhurt. The shooter then fled from the area, the police said. Woman loses leg in crash involving JLP motorcade. Anne-Marie Bruce, a resident of Mount George, Yallows, St. Thomas, suffered a devastating loss during yesterday's nomination day activities after she lost her leg in a freak accident. The incident occurred near White Horses in the parish. Bruce was among a group of Jamaica Labour Party JLP supporters on the back of a truck, which hit an embankment. As the driver attempted to avoid a collision, her leg severed as it made contact with a rock in the embankment. She was rushed to the Princess Margaret Hospital, where she has been admitted. James Robertson, Member of Parliament for St. Thomas Western and the Deputy Leader of the JLP, expressed shock and dismay at the incident. "I just left the hospital. I stayed to ensure that she's going to be okay," he said on Thursday night. "She has been injured badly. She lost a leg, but she's stable, while another man has been extrayed, but he's not in any danger. She was in shock. If you saw the pictures, you can understand. This is somebody we know well, and to see what has happened to her is very unfortunate," the JLP Deputy Leader said. Meanwhile, Roberts has expressed the importance of safety and responsibility while attending events such as political rallies and participating in motorcades. "When you're transporting or working with that number of people, you have to be very conscious of the risk. You have to try and get the young people to drive carefully. You'll speak to the people about hanging their arms out. It's a lot of responsibility. It's not easy. We do warn them before the activities about how to conduct themselves when commuting. Even a while ago, we just stopped the trucks to get the people to behave. It's not easy. I would never have imagined something like this to happen today," he said. Meanwhile, Sandra Anderson, PNP councillor candidate for the Cave Valley Division in St. Thomas Western, expressed sympathy to the injured woman in a media release and wished her a swift recovery. "Despite our political differences, let's join hands and rally behind the injured lady. Our humanity should always prevail over partisan lines." Popcorn fined for night noise breach. Dancehall artist Popcorn was ordered to pay $40,000 or serve 30 days in jail for breaching the Noise Abatement Act when he appeared in the St. Thomas Parish Court on Friday. The artist, whose given name is Andre Sutherland, was charged in relation to the December 23, 2023 staging of Unruly Fest in St. Thomas. Last month, he was also fined after he pleaded guilty to using indecent language, disorderly conduct, using abusive language, and issuing a threat to police officers. The entertainer was charged and placed before the court for his foul-mouthed tirade towards the police during Unruly Fest. However, he was ordered to return to court today in relation to the Noise Abatement Act charge. Silvera anxious to be vindicated. Ahead of his April 11 bail hearing, defense lawyers for former St. Mary Western Member of Parliament Jolan Silvera, who is implicated in his wife's murder, said their client is anxious to be vindicated and have his day in court. The 52-year-old Silvera, a one-term People's National Party legislator and a land developer, was charged with the murder of his 42-year-old wife and mother of 3 of his children, Melissa. He was also charged with using a firearm to commit a felony. Speaking with journalists outside the Supreme Court, minutes after the case was adjourned, Silvera's lawyers, Peter Champagne Casey, accompanied by Patrice Riley, explained that there was not much that he could say given that it was a gun court matter and the proceedings were in camera. He then proceeded to inform the media about the bail hearing date.
All that we can say is that the matter is fixed for bail application on the 11th of April. On that date, the court will hear submissions from us as to why it is that Mr. Silvera is a good and fit candidate for bail, and I would imagine that the prosecution will make a contribution to that in terms of their own position, but that's about it.
Mr. Champagne, as the media, should we expect that the rest of hearings will be in camera?
I can't answer that. I wouldn't be so presumptuous to answer that. Discretions are exercised, and the judge was well within her rights to determine how to treat this matter. As I said before, based on the offense, it's not just the offense of murder, but it's committing the offense by using, they're saying, an illegal firearm, in an illegal way rather.
Given that you know the facts of the case, is there at any point that you think she'll be able to, grant some discretion and all?
The facts of the case are yet to be determined. Okay. I have firm instructions, and my client is indicating that he's innocent, and all of that will be ventilated in court. So going forward, it's really a matter for the judge. It's not a matter for us as to whether or not there is going to be a situation where the media is allowed.
Any concerns about his well-being? How he is in terms of his health?
No, not at this moment. Not at this moment.
He's doing okay.
I wouldn't say that. If you're in that position, you could not be doing okay. There is obviously grave concern. He's anxious to be vindicated. He's anxious to have his day in court. And he is very, very much concerned, very apprehensive, as anyone would in that particular position.
Brothers held for fatal stabbing of balloon. The Bogwalk police in St. Catherine have arrested 2 brothers for allegedly hitting a man with a stone, then fatally stabbing him on Thursday. The deceased has been identified only as Balloon of Jupen Hill, Bogwalk, St. Catherine. It is reported that about 5:15 p.m. there was a dispute between Balloon and one of the suspects, when the suspect's brother joined in and used a stone to hit Balloon, who fell. While on the ground, the other suspect brandished a pair of scissors, which he used to stab Balloon in the abdomen. The injured man was taken to hospital, where he died. 2 cops charged over shooting outside fast food restaurant in Ocherius. The police have laid charges against 2 of the 3 cops who are in custody in connection with the shooting death of a man outside a fast food restaurant in Ocherius, St. Anne earlier this month. They have been charged with misprision of felony, police sources confirmed. Misprision of felony is the failure to report a crime. A similar charge will also be laid against a 3rd cop and 5 civilians who were also arrested in connection with the incident, police sources said. It's reported that the policemen will also face a charge of misconduct in a public office. When contacted, Donovan Collins, the attorney for 2 of the policemen and 2 of the civilians, declined to comment on reports that his clients have been charged. However, Collins complained about what he claimed was the disregard shown to the court by the St. Anne police. A parish judge in Trelawney, where the cops are being held, last Thursday ordered that the St. Anne police should release 2 of the policemen by 4 p.m. by that Friday if no charges were filed against them, Collins said. Why did the Senton police believe it was okay to disobey an order of the court? He questioned. Was it necessary to take over 230 hours to determine that the men will be charged for misprision of a felony? Collins questioned, making reference to the offences. Superintendent Dwight Powell, commanding officer for the Senton Police, said he had no comment when asked to respond to the claims by the attorney. The man was shot during an altercation outside a popular restaurant in Ocho Rios about 3:30 a.m. 2 Saturdays ago. He later died at hospital. Jamaican man shot in Waterbury, Connecticut, dies in hospital, 18-year-old charge. A Jamaican man was shot in Waterbury, Connecticut in the United States last week and succumbed to his injuries in hospital. Keno Williams, 38, passed away on Tuesday. It is understood he is originally from St. James and the suspect is known to him. 18-year-old Angela Bowden Mitchell was taken into custody following the Tuesday, January 30 incident, has since been charged with criminal attempt at murder, first-degree criminal attempt at robbery, and conspiracy to commit first-degree robbery. She was arraigned on Monday and held on a $2.5 million bond. The Waterbury police say additional arrests are expected in the case. They had reported that about 7:49 p.m. on Tuesday, January 30, officers responded to an incident at the parking lot of Bertie's restaurant on North Main Street to investigate a crash and later determined that the driver, Williams, had a gunshot wound in the back of his head. According to NBC Connecticut, the vehicle went through a parking lot and the backyard of a nearby home, hit several objects and then stopped. Investigators developed leads and obtained an arrest warrant for Angela Bowden Mitchell. They took her into custody on Saturday. She was subsequently charged. Gun and ammo seized in St. James, man in custody. A man was taken into custody after a lawman assigned to the Mount Salem police seized the gun and ammunition while on patrol and overrode the main road in St. James on Friday, February 9. Reports are that about 2:19 a.m., the police were patrolling the area when they heard loud explosions and went to investigate. On the police's arrival at a section of the main road, a man was seen with his right hand behind him. The man's actions arose the suspicion of the police, who approached and apprehended him. A Chrome Springfield XD .40 pistol containing 6 rounds of ammunition was seized during the search. The man was arrested and brought to the station where he was questioned, police said. Investigations are ongoing. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items. Let me go back up on top. Wait.